Welcome to Crescent City with your hosts Natalie Jean and Jackie Zabrowski.
Oh.
Rolling.
Doing
wow.
vocal warm-ups.
Vocal warm-ups, don't start crying. You gonna start crying.
I don't want to.
Man, do you ever have one of those kind of voice classes like that where everybody's crying and you don't realize how much your breath work really gets those emotions flowing? Or am I just talking about my dumb theater school bullshit?
I mean, I took very casual musical theater acting classes, so I don't think I got that treatment.
Oh, where you were just like, the bad guys. Like it was
like,
casual.
The sun will come out
Whoa.
tomorrow.
I thought you were Annie in a past life. And I was like, Annie? No, Natalie.
No.
I thought you wanted to just stare up the pant leg of a big, bald motherfucker saying, Daddy, would you like some sausage? But don't say that because
is a different thing.
I think it's a different daddy. Different daddy, different day.
Henry is a Freddie Got Fingered apologist, and I get it. I do appreciate it more now than I did when it came out, but I hated that movie when it came out.
Why?
I think it's like, it felt, I didn't understand it.
I mean, I completely understand
it more. I think I felt at the time like he was trying too hard.
I get it.
Which he is, but like, it can be funny.
But he was the grandfather of all of that kind of comedy.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been rewatching some Tom Green. I've been having a big of a Tom Green-assance because he is as well right now. He's like revamping. He's got a new show out.
Good for
He's got a
him.
doc out about like what was going on with him between then and now. And also, he's been looking pretty good too.
Oh no, Jackie.
Oh,
Jeff,
yeah.
watch out.
Yeah, he's going to go, it's like, I know he had Drew Barrymore in the past, but if you could go with someone that looks nothing like her, not anywhere near as successful, and, but at least, like, look at my angel outfit. If I showed him the angel outfit, maybe I'd be like, I'm an archangel. Don't you want to marry me?
Drew Barrymore was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while
It was very
ago.
brief, but thankful that he was in Charlie's Angels for no reason. I still stand that movie.
No
forever.
reason. Why? Because he gave it dignity?
Oh, yes, for sure. That's
Tom
what he
Green,
did.
that's what they usually hire him for.
Yeah, to just really make it for people to take it seriously.
Yeah, I know I've got some Tom Green heads out there. I know I'm not alone in this.
I don't hate him. I think I appreciate his comedy a little more now than I did in the 90s.
Sure. Especially now that, honestly, we live an absurdist comedy life. I hate to break this to you, Natalie. I know you used to be very cool, and you probably used to make fun of people like us.
No, I didn't. I absolutely did not. I swear to you, I didn't.
You not, Natalie. I saw how punk cool you were back then.
Yeah, but punk is very silly a lot of the time. Like, there is a lot of self-deprecation in it.
True. But I am still very scared of you and your judgments.
You shouldn't be. I don't think my judgments mean anything.
Ouch, Natalie, no. It takes everything in me not to scream every time Natalie opens her mouth. I'm used to living in such fear beside her.
It's a big problem. We decided to do a bunch of podcasts together.
I know. We had to go to therapy. Oh, Natalie, how cute would we be in therapy?
It would be adorable. Let's make it a podcast.
Yes.
Nothing can be private.
Sisters in therapy, but not real sisters, which would make it, not as crazy when we start yelling at each other. Yes, yelling at each other. That is what I was going to answer that with.
I was trying to finish your sentence.
Thank you, and you did.
Can you tell who I am?
No, I knew you were going to ask me. I was like, I know she's going to ask me on the show if I know who she is, and I have absolutely no idea.
There would be no reason for you to understand.
Is that true, or is it
Yes.
just that? Okay. All right. At least, you know what? Honestly, it's usually on me, but this one time, it's on Natalie.
Oh, it is. No, I knew it would be hard. And I actually, when you're used to wearing a wig most of the time for this show, it feels as though my head is too small. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm complete.
Would you like me to climb up there and perch atop you like I'm a bit of a jack parrot?
I'm good, but thank you for the option.
Welcome, Natalie. Oh, thank you, Natalie, for giving me such a good pitch. I won't do that for the entire episode.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'll forget about it eventually.
Yeah. And you'll probably remember and do it again.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what will come out of my mouth? That's the beautiful part of never having any control of your brain or your mouth.
Well, when you talk for a living, sometimes eventually you just have to let the mouth take over.
And the mouth does what the mouth does.
I've got freeze-dried strawberries all in my teeth. Try not to.
Oh, whoa, brag much? Sorry that I don't have a beard snack for later. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Adam and Adam's beautiful beard, and I always am very envious of anyone that has a mustache or a beard because it makes me think of the Twits, the Roald Dahl book where they had a picture of the character in the book, and he had a bunch of food trapped in his beard, and he claimed that he would save the food for later.
Got it.
And then
that was a journey.
That
was a journey to get there.
There's a lot of space in my brain for journeying.
Do you really want, would you want Jeff to keep food in his beard? Because I think it would be gross. I think you would not like it.
I probably wouldn't like it, but sometimes after he eats like a waffle, if we're out at a diner, and then you kiss him later and he tastes like maple syrup, you know how I feel about maple syrup. You know that I live a life where I'm just always looking for a conduit to bring maple syrup into my mouth. And so if he's tasting like maple syrup,
You're saying his beard is a conduit for maple syrup?
Yeah, and I suck on his beard every night. I want to make sure that I experience everything Jeff eats in a day.
Oh my God.
That's marriage, Natalie, and I'm sorry you're not doing that for your partner.
No, I can't help it. He is an enthusiastic eater, and it is always on his face. It's very cute.
Watching Henry is my favorite thing to watch him eat. That's a gross thing for a sister to say, but my favorite thing to watch him eat is popcorn, because Natalie and I both love popcorn to an extent that it might be unhealthy.
Unhealthy, yeah, for sure.
But Henry eats popcorn. He takes a handful of popcorn and throws it at his mouth, and whatever the mouth catches, he eats. And I have never seen, and I'm not even making fun of him. It's so impressive, but then watching him stand up after a movie where he is absolutely covered in popcorn is very, very funny. Because I'll find like an errant popcorn in my titties.
I mean, everybody finds a popcorn in their bra.
Yeah, I mean, especially your popcorn.
Who are you? Oh, you think you're better than me? You don't find popcorn in your bra?
Well, the kernels don't hurt you throughout the day, and you don't think, I wonder what's trapped inside of my bra. I should probably take it out. You don't. You wait until the nighttime, and then you go take a shower, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what was in there?
What was that sharp thing?
Oh my God, that hurt all day.
That hurt so bad.
I did not do nothing about it. But I think that for people that wear underwires in their bra, they're just kind of always used to being uncomfortable.
I think that is a thing. I don't even notice how uncomfortable I am in the breast area until you kind of get ready for bed. And then you're like, oh, yes, the burden.
Thank God.
The burden of womanhood.
Yeah, get these out of here.
But I do like boobies. So much.
Oh, we talking boobies. I'll talk boobies all day.
Oh, we talking boobies. We got to talk about Bryce's boobies because we're here to talk about this book.
Boobies. No, I am dressed as Sandra. I am evil, Jackie. We're giving evil right now.
But you could also be Shahar. So if you'd rather be Shahar, because Sandriel is only in the first part of this episode.
God, I just had a horrible, horrible vision in my brain of her pretending like she's Shahar just so she could bang Hunt. And that would be so evil that I feel like Sandriel would have done that.
No, yeah.
Horrible.
Ew. Horrible.
I just yucked myself out.
Yeah, it's yucky. So Bryce is running towards the Heart Gate, and we're about to get a lot of reveals in these final chapters.
Y'all ready for some plot?
Hoab.
Yeah, man.
Hoab.
Oh, yeah,
House
it goes out.
Blood.
It ain't Ho-Drab. I tell you what.
A lot of stuff happening. So we're going to get some reveals. She is running because she is coming up with this plan, and nobody really totally knows what's going on, but it seems like it's a little bit of an unalive mission. And so Bryce, as she's running, is letting little pieces of her memory filter through her mind in the memories of the day that she was in danger with Danica. So she kind of seems like she thinks she might be at the end of the line for herself, and she's
Life is
having flashing.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she's going to this day we've gotten little bits and pieces of this day throughout the book, but we don't really know what happened at the end. But we know something big and consequential happened that day, but not what. So we're about to learn the truth, and it will tie many of the parts back together from throughout the story.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we're with Hunt at the start of chapter 87, and he's watching in despair as Bryce presumably is going to die to save this something. They don't even really understand.
You don't want to say what you wrote in here is presumably committing an unalive bomb. And I love the question mark. I'm like, how do I say it?
I didn't know if I should say it or not.
I know, because I appreciate you trying to be sensitive, but it is a time that is what's happening, going through your brain, that you think that that's what's about to happen.
Yes, that is what it seems as though is occurring. But after only a moment, the whole summit room watches in shock as she pulls a glowing orb of light out of her chest, as you do.
Cool.
And does that really cool looking thing, like she's underwater, her hair's floating all around like a mermaid.
Whoa, like the front of the book?
Like the front of oh yes, the front of the book.
Whoa, yes.
Like the front of the book. I always think of rotoscoping because it's my favorite kind of ghost projection in movies. You know, like the ones they do in like Ghostbusters and stuff like that, where it's like they take a miniature and they make it underwater. And then
yes. Yeah.
That's my favorite kind of.
Like in Muppet Christmas Carol.
Like a Muppet Christmas Carol, yes.
They do that with the Ghost of Christmas Past.
So that's what she's doing right now. And it affects the surrounding street so much. Whatever she's pulling from herself, the gravity seems to kind of loosen the debris around her as it lifts up. She seems in this moment at peace and unafraid. She smiles softly and the light expands. I am Bryce Quinlan,
she said to the gate, to the void, to all of hell behind it. Her voice was serene, wise and laughing.
Heir to the star-born fae.
The ground slid out from under Hunt as the light between her hands, the star she'd drawn from her shattered heart, flared as bright as the sun.
So, it's not Rune.
What?
But Bryce.
What?
Bryce is the star-born fae.
What?
We cut back to Bryce's memories of that fateful day with Danica. Not the day of the pack murders, but the other day she reflects upon a lot. One that may have cemented their bond so permanently. We know from her recollections to Hunt that she and Danica had gotten into some deep poop trying to free some animals from a smuggling ring.
If you had said S, if you had brought S,
I'm trying to make it more viable for the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, YouTube algorithm. Thank you, YouTube.
To free some animals from the smuggling ring that her and Danica had infiltrated. So if you recall from her talking about it to Hunt, her and Danica had found out about this smuggling ring that was like really abusive to animals. And the two of them, the young bucks they were like, we're going to save the animals. And I love that for them.
I do love that.
But it seems like it was a very, very dangerous thing to do. And it didn't work out very well.
No.
And so she had ended up pissing off a group of especially dangerous asp shifters.
Thank you for not saying the A word. You were saying asp. But also this reminds me of Pups Without Borders. Marcus was just telling me about Pups Without Borders, which is where he got Frankie from.
Yeah.
And I was busy thinking about pups acting as little puppy doctors, being allowed across the board, be like, you must let the pup do the surgery. And they're just like, arr, 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 trying to like, they're on the front lines, keeping the puppies safe.
I mean, the dogs came to protect people in Ludathian.
Stop it. Stop bringing up when the dogs came and they saved and they helped. But the dogs aren't here right now, are they, Natalie?
No, but you'd think as shifter veneer that they'd have more compassion for the animals that they're smuggling, but I guess they don't.
Yeah, I guess not.
They've been caught, Danica and Bryce, that is, and they're kneeling in that very ominous position, one that some people get into before they're shot, on their knees.
What is like, woo?
No, not shots.
Oh, I thought shot. Yeah, I was like, yeah, usually
like
hands
this.
are up, tits are out. I'm sorry.
No,
breasts are out.
No.
Different kind of shots.
Different kind.
Okay. Sorry.
ASMR,
not
everyone.
Fun. Uh-oh. It's your jingle jangles.
Can you tell who I am yet? Think of an inanimate thing.
The clock from Beauty and the Beast.
You're not even trying.
You're right. He
What's
was
on your
animated.
face?
A heart. Oh, heart face. Are you Shadowheart, the person that Henry's in love with in Baldur's Gate?
I would maybe lean more towards things happening in the book.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's keep going.
Okay. So
it would be, I don't think it would be desperate if you showed up dressed as Shadowheart because it's the lover of Henry in Baldur's Gate, but I would definitely probably ask how you're doing. Like, are you okay?
no, he's allowed to have video game lovers.
That's what I'm just saying. If you started dressing like her, I would probably ask if you were
if I was
okay.
doing all right.
Yeah. I'd be like, what's going on in that brain of yours? That beautiful,
You
big,
don't want to know.
thick brain of yours.
It's a nightmare in here sometimes.
I'll never let him love again. I just imagine you just like in the shadows, like trying to be like, it's like as much of a golem as you could ever pull off with. I'm sorry, you're too beautiful to be a golem. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Always a Smeagol,
No.
never a golem.
Oh my god.
Natalie Jean.
Always a Smeagol, never. So, yes. So they're about to be taken down by these shitty shifters.
Sucks.
And I'm sorry, these poopy shifters.
Thank you. My God. I was about to puke everywhere.
That's saying poopy shifters is much grosser.
Ew, yeah, I think it is worse. I think saying
so too.
poopy is worse than shitty.
I agree.
I'm more upset at poop.
Yeah, I think it's much, much more disgusting.
Oh, gross. I've just yucked out my mouth and I feel like I can feel my brain being like, girl, you just yucked yourself out so much, you're going to start saying poopy all the time, and I'm already upset.
Oh, no.
You know, once I hear a word, it gets trapped in my brain, and then I start saying the word all the time.
Yeah, it's the intrusive thought patrol.
But at least I'm not like, cutting off my own hands because I wish my fingers were longer.
That'll be the opposite of what will happen. Just so you know, just in case.
Why, you don't want to start trying to see if you can stretch my fingers? You
Yeah,
can add weights to them.
Yeah, you put little weights on them.
I was working on my grip strength. Jeff got one of those things where you test your grip strength. I don't have a lot of it. Turns out he's got like more than double my
You got to
grip
start
strength,
coming and do an aerial.
Yeah, I got to start gripping. Natalie! I won't grip you. I just got to grip. We'll get back to the story.
Okay, so they're in this precarious position, and Danica says something she's never said to anyone before. I love you. You know it's serious when Danica says that. We know the other time she said that in the book.
Yeah.
Right before she knew her death was coming.
Yeah.
Through her terror, Bryce is moved beyond words that her friend, who has come to mean so much to her, would open herself up in this way. She makes a decision. With no other way out in sight, she tells Danica to close her eyes. We've seen this scene in the memory, retrieval chapters in the past up to this point, but now we might have an idea of what's coming. Bryce knows there is a terrible risk at revealing this secret. It could alter not only her life, but the lives of her bloodline and even her city, her continent, because of the ramifications.
The asp shifter finished loading the bullets and pointed the gun at Danica's face. His colleague smirked from a step behind him. Bryce held Danica's stare, did not look away as she said again,
Danica, close your eyes.
Trembling, Danica obeyed, squeezed them shut.
She releases the light from inside of her that she fights so hard to hide. It's so bright that the shifters scream in pain as it scorches their eyeballs.
Tits so bright you gotta wear shades!
But they won't have to worry about this because soon after, Bryce has their gun and shoots them dead where they stand.
Slowly, carefully, she spooled the light back into herself, smothered it, the secret she and her parents had kept for so long, from her sire, from the Asteri, from Midgard, from Rune. The pure light of a star, from another world, from long, long ago. The gift of the ancient Fae, reborn again. Light, but nothing more than that. Not an Asteri who possessed brute power of the stars. Just light.
So, pure light of a star from another world. What could
it's like,
that
what is she not like the other
be?
girls or something? Yeah, okay. I guess you're different.
I meant more.
Okay, you got the pure light of the stars inside you.
I meant more, this sounds like it could be a reference to other things.
Oh, interesting, Natil.
Natil.
Very interesting. Yeah, I feel like that's the classiest way of saying your name.
Natil.
Natil.
So, yeah, she has starborn power, y'all.
Cool. Okay. And that obviously means, I feel like at this point, you can tell, because Rune just has a small amount of star power, that obviously this bitch is chock full of power.
Yeah, which is something she thinks about as well as she's running again. She thinks maybe this is her last moments. And so her mind is sort of going further back in time to when she was young. Her love for Rune as a little girl, and how she planned to tell him about her secret. The secret her parents had taught her very young to hide because of how dangerous it could be to her. But as a child, she stopped from telling Rune as she watched her bio dad, the Autumn King, degrade Rune in front of her every chance he could. She saw that Rune's self-esteem rested on that little bit of starborn power. She couldn't take it from him. Women always making themselves smaller.
Always pleasing, always giving, not taking the power, letting everybody know how powerful you are. But also, is there not power in not telling everyone how powerful you are?
Oh, no, I agree with that for sure, 100%. Also, Rune, I feel as though wasn't making her feel like she needed to do that. That was a choice that she decided to make.
Of course. But I mean, I get it, especially when things are already kind of estranged and there's a lot between the two of you anyway. It's already like, how are you supposed to get along with someone that's 80 years older than you are? You know what I mean? At that point, right?
60, I think.
60.
It's 60.
It's 60. And also, I just feel like they're just in different places in their life. But are they? If they look the same, who knows?
And I mean, I think she was cherishing this relationship with her brother so much she didn't want to take. She felt self-conscious almost. Like she didn't want people to know this about her.
Yeah.
Then we return to the present Bryce, and she's standing in front of the gate. The heart gate. The heart gate.
Oh, Natil, the heart gate. I really, man, when you're like, look at my face, and I saw the hearts, and I was like, what fucking character has hearts on their face? What character has fucking hearts on their, like, my brain spiraled, and I love that you let me sit in the make of my spiral. I like it.
The make of your spiral is horrible. It's a horrible thing to
man,
say.
it's the juice that spurts out as you spiral.
Spiral juice.
It is a really good idea to dress as the heart gate, though. And I'm impressed with you.
Thanks. It definitely wasn't panicked.
No.
And chosen an hour
You're
before.
not like the other girls. I'm sorry. You're not like the other gates. And I think that you are the most powerful of all the gates. And wow, impressed.
I mean, any reason to pull out the sequin clothes that I own. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, it is a great reason to use them because everyone should see this capelet of sparkles that you just owned.
Oh, I own.
It's very small. It's such. What did you use that capelet bedazzled? It's not bedazzled though. It's the long. What are those? It's like
They're
the
sequins.
huge.
They're
sequins,
they're
though.
like mermaid sequins. Like they're scales.
Yes. Oh, so this is all connected. I know they're not connected.
No, they're not.
But they are
the same company. This is for my 40th birthday.
Makes sense. You got to dress like a gate for your 40th birthday. But yes,
I thought you said a gay, and I was like, yeah, actually.
well, I mean, yes, 100%. I mean, that's me every day.
Yeah.
And I love myself.
Yes.
It just depends on which kind of day, like, kind of gay I want to be that day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Bryce is now standing in front of this gate. Her secret revealed to all of Midgard. This is a secret that she knows that because they're all watching this go down, this is it for her. So even if she survives, it's going to change everything about her life. Even with all of the things happening around her, part of her feels a sense of serenity at being able to stop hiding the secret. Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm scared of
It's hard to hold secrets in, and it's
truth.
not good for you a lot of the time. I mean, sometimes you have to hold a secret, but generally, sometimes the things you think you need to hold secret are hurting you, and you don't actually need to be ashamed of things. You know what I mean?
That's what therapy's for.
It's true.
Because sometimes it's a secret that you can't tell other people, but that's the beautiful part about therapy.
It's true.
Just say it there.
She thinks about how hard it was to deny the pull of the Star Sword when Rune had brought it into the library in the weeks past. She didn't want to take the sword from Rune, but it merely her blood was calling for it because of how much power was inside of her that she constantly held down.
It's like me and eating a bunch of meat, you know? It's my blood that's calling for it, not just the lust of my teeth.
I mean, blood probably is calling it to an extent.
Everybody says it, and everybody's telling me that's why I eat the meat. It's because of my blood.
Oh.
Like, blood.
Is it bad? I don't know what kind of blood
It's probably bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
How do you find out?
I donate blood, and that's how I found out. And I was like, oh, I'm a good blood to donate blood. I should donate blood. But here's the thing. You are damned if you are homosexual in any capacity. You are damned if you get tattoos.
That's why
you are damned if you leave the country. It's like this. They really need to work on the fucking blood laws of being able to donate blood. Can we
especially,
please?
I mean, homosexuality is insane to still.
Ridiculous. Truly ridiculous.
With the tattoo, I kind of understand, which is why I actually forget about donating, because when I used to get tattoos all the time, that was the thing. Like, you couldn't donate blood because they're worried about needle exchange. Like,
right. Well, now you have to wait 3 months after you get a tattoo. So now Jeff and I are at a place where, like, okay, every 3 months we donate blood, and right after we go get tattoos.
Nice.
And then you just do that every 3 months.
That's a very good thing. I should be donating blood. I just literally never remember that.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to be a braggart, but guys, I donate blood.
I think that's a good example to make for people.
Thank you. I didn't know if you guys knew. I'm kind of like the Jesus Christ of this network. I'm sorry, Jackie Christ.
Yeah.
And you are welcome to call me that at any point.
Justina.
Especially now that my wings, I haven't even, oh my God, it's like, I haven't even slapped my
Oh God! Wait,
wings.
they're not working in tandem.
Flap my wings, so you better watch out, cause I'm gonna fly.
Why is only one working? Why is only one
shifting on my back? All right, these ones aren't as good as my mechanical demon wings. Okay,
I know that you don't know the Bible that well, but you know Jesus didn't have angel wings, right?
Why? I think that sucks. You're Jesus Christ and you don't get to have angel wings?
No, people don't actually. Angels were never humans.
That sucks for them. They should rewrite it. Have they thought about doing a reboot?
I think a lot of people have rebooted it a lot.
Oh, okay.
And they keep trying.
Mel Gibson.
Jodie Hildebrandt just tried.
Oh, yeah? What are they doing?
She's in jail.
Oh.
She's in jail now, so...
Well, I guess she was really bad at redoing the Bible then.
Or she's persecuted and we don't even know.
And yeah, you're right. And we're going to be like, we're going to give her snaps
we're so sorry.
In a couple of weeks. Oh my
we're
God.
So sorry. Anyway.
So thank you. I'm glad we had our little Bible pit stop.
Yeah.
From the two people that know it. Oh, baby.
The venom. She thinks also about the venom she kept in her leg and how it helped her stifle that power for those 2 years that she had it.
Oh, yes.
But as you'll recall in the scene from chapter 61, as the venom is being extracted from her, Hunt leans down and gives her the first kiss that they share. This is a little passage from chapter 61.
A star bloomed inside her at that kiss. A long, slumbering light began to fill her chest, her veins.
And so that was basically a literal light was filling her veins. She had kept it tampered down. And then I think the combination of pulling the venom out and then like her connecting with this certain gentleman really kind of pulled the starlight out of her. It's what blinded.
I think she wants a little bit of something being put into her, though. Hey, come on.
Well, they haven't done it yet.
Oh, we're going to stop. Oh, it's stop power that's doing it. Oh, whoa. That was me pretending like I had a dick and the dick was getting really big.
Oh.
Man, when you have to explain your improvised, act out jokes. That's when you know the joke is, wow.
I think it was
Next level.
fantastic.
It was my dick.
It was, oh, it was her dick. God, I mean her penis.
Sorry, yes, that's right. My penis. I am an angel. I should say the right word. Only one of my these. Oh, you will, Natalie. I'm sorry, Natalie. And I just flew away. You never saw me again.
Oh, I'm sure James can definitely.
James, hook a bitch up. Make me fly away?
No, you don't have to. I feel like that would take. I think you should spend an entire day of your life doing this in post-production. I know you have nothing else to do with your time.
Not all the other very important things in your life.
It's what blinded the Oracle. And the Autumn King was too prejudiced to even consider a little demi-fae brat would have the power that his son didn't even get.
Ugh.
And so even though technically it seems like the Autumn King was trying to measure whether or not she did have this power, the fact that she basically did have it and blinded the Oracle, he was too, racist and, arrogant to even consider that was what was happening. But you're
right though. It feels silly to use the term racist, but it's like
like prejudice.
You're right, prejudice. But it's but also it's like the Autumn King just simply thought she wasn't powerful enough and didn't think any more about it.
Yeah,
and don't a lot of people say that about us, Natalie? Okay, and we're very powerful, and you should be scared of us and what light we have in our breasts.
Oh no, are people saying bad things?
Everybody's saying that we don't have light in our breasts, and I want to show everybody's like, I'll blind you with my nipples, headlight nipples.
So you think Bryce's power comes out of her nipples?
Yeah,
that's fun.
Where do you think the heart comes from? I thought it spewed out.
I wish that was the case. That would be great,
like the end of a genie lamp.
So it was. So she. When it blinded the Oracle, she didn't tell Rune, even though she had wanted to originally because of what we talked about. But she also didn't care about this power. She didn't want it. She felt burdened by it and didn't want to be this starborn. She didn't want to be the chosen one.
But aren't those the ones that we need?
Be.
Yes.
Yep. But she keeps Rune's heart from being even further broken and kept this information even from him, even Danica. No one ever knew this about her through her life until there was no other choice than to save Danica's life with the power. So she was the only other person besides Bryce's parents who ever knew. This time, however, standing in front of the heart gate, she does something she's never done before. She fully extracts the core of the light from her chest. This is a level of power she has no practice or experience with, but she seems to understand that this might be her last few moments alive anyway. She's glad she was able to speak to Hunt one last time. Knowing the horn is activated in her back, the starborn power just might be able to close the portal, or so she hopes. She knows that the gate should perhaps act as a conduit to her power the way that Jeff's beard acts as a conduit
to my maple syrup habit. Wow.
Close,
Bryce whispered, shaking, and she thrust her starlight into the gate's clear stone.
Back in the summit room.
Yes.
They are all watching, stunned, as Bryce's apparent power shoots through the crystal gate, blinding light shooting out 4 blocks radius wide. The demons scream and retreat, seeming to react to her power like they know it well. Even as they marvel, Hunt realizes that Bryce possesses what would allow her to inherit a throne and looks to Rune. Is he become enemy now?
Ooh.
Because as you know, Hunt's only concerned with protecting Bryce. And so now he has to question, in the Fae world, thrones are chosen through a lot of murder.
Mm-hmm.
And so now is he an enemy?
And is she going to have a big old price on her head, especially now that the Autumn King knows, it's not even just Rune. It's just everyone that does know how powerful she is. Obviously, that would be terrifying. I would definitely, I completely get the whole, I feel like some people might be tired by someone that has all the power and like the trope of it, not wanting the power of it. But I think it makes so much sense with Bryce specifically, like as her as a character. Like I wouldn't want that amount of power. Like I wouldn't want anyone looking at me. Like I just want to be, I'm just a normal demi-fae. Don't look at me. Don't expect more from me. Don't put that pressure on me.
I know.
It's just a lot.
People looking at me.
Oh my God.
Stop.
No, my God. With
Stop
your capelet. Stop.
Me.
Oh my God.
Stop.
Model pose.
Stop.
Model pose. Oh my God. She's just, she's ethereal in her
Stop.
upset. Our breasts.
No, but I understand. Yes. I think that it would be a lot to take. And especially because when you're put into the idea that you might need to be a queen, everyone wants to kill you.
Oh, I know.
And time's only going to tell whether or not Rune I mean, as we hear his thoughts, we're pretty sure he's not going to be like that.
And
but
we know
Hunt,
he's a good male.
But Hunt doesn't know yet.
Right.
Everyone, Jessica, Fury, all those oldies in the room seem flummoxed and shocked. Fury didn't even know about this power that Bryce held.
You're calling them oldies when you're the Heartgate, and I feel like you're pretty fucking old, bitch. Sorry.
I don't know.
Freaking gate. Freaking old gate.
Female dog.
Female dog gate.
I don't know how are the gates. Oh, I guess they are really, really old. They're older than the city, I imagine.
Yeah, I imagine you're pretty worn out.
Or honed.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Honed is a better word to use.
As the light recedes, the shock ripples through the room. The portal is gone, closed. Only one of 6, but she has done it. And the demons are staying away from that still glowing gate as though they know they can't near it. The Autumn King is being a little B-word.
Shock.
His first instinct is to call Ember and shout at her.
You will never talk to her like that,
Also, just with everything else going on, that's your first thing to do is to yell at your ex-wife.
I mean, it makes sense. Who can he's so upset, all this stuff that is happening without his control, but what can he control? How
yelling
make
at
somebody
a woman.
feel. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's like, he knows that will immediately make him feel better, and isn't that fucking sad for you?
It is sad. But it's good for us, the reader, so we get some exposition through the conversation. Ember bitterly explains to the Autumn King that he was just basically too arrogant and dumb to realize her power, because he's like, why did you keep this from me? You knew the secret the whole time. She was the Starborn Fae heir. And Ember's like, no, I didn't keep it from you. You should have figured it out if you weren't such a prick.
Yeah, if you thought about literally anybody else besides yourself for a second, maybe you could have figured that out.
He's furious that this information was kept from him. In fact, Ember joyfully tells him that baby Bryce was actually the one who saved her and Randall from his men, whom he sent to chase after them when Ember ran away.
Mic drop it!
Because her light, even at that young age, kicked in when she sensed that her and her mother were in danger. So Ember had to teach Bryce very young to protect Bryce from ne'er-do-wells who would want to use her or kill her. Ember spits out to the Autumn King that Bryce wanted to tell him when she was 13, but that he immediately proved to be a total scumbag who threw her out on her ass when her power rankings didn't show anything exceptional. At least her power rankings according to Bryce's parents. So they knew about what was inside of her, but they didn't tell him that, essentially at age 13. So when he ditched her after the oracle reading, she felt even more self-conscious and never told another person until Danica found out. Ember calls him a fucking asshole and hangs up on him.
You're a fucking asshole!
Yeah, you get him, Ember. You get him.
Jack Barrett, where'd you come from?
Jack Barrett's
I know.
back.
Jack Barrett doesn't like the Autumn King either. No, I wish he had no power.
I was thinking Jack Rot, but that doesn't sound like Parrot. That sounds like
Jack Rot.
Sounds like you have to go to the doctor.
It seems like something like, what is it? Necropsy? What is as it starts to get deaden on you? Necro, not Mancy. I know it's not that.
That's a romancing.
I'm saying necropsy.
Yeah, I think that's close.
I can't hear anyone correcting me, so
Nope.
it's obviously necropsy. And I've got it, and it's scary.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's not Jack Rot. Thank you very much.
Yeah. The Autumn King is incensed and shatters a vase. He throws it against the wall. The news in the general melee causes enough destruction in the room, so...
Oh, a necropsy is a post-mortem examination performed on an animal.
So not that.
It's not that.
But...
It's different than an autopsy. Autopsies on humans. Necropsies are on animals.
Interesting. Weird.
Wow.
Wonder why.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jack Rot.
I wonder why that's different names.
Yeah, I don't know.
So...
I guess you'd have to know a lot of different stuff.
Well, sure.
That's sorry. True. We don't need to get into that. I'm curious about the world of like animal autopsies, and is that something that happens a lot? Is that something like
I'm sure that has to happen.
Do we have to ask like, are your dogs organ donors?
Well, I think it's more like maybe attached to murder scenes and things like that, or things where an unexplained death happened that an animal.
Gene Hackman.
I mean, honestly,
Gene Hackman.
They probably did do a necropsy.
Right. Necropsy. We're learning here, guys.
So there's a lot of melee going on in the city and in the summit room as everybody's going, holy shit, one of them's gone. She's got starborn shit. What are we going to do? How do we fix this? And through all this, suddenly Hunt feels a hand on his, and it's hypoxia.
Whoa, someone's proven to be a badass bitch witch.
Remember when she asked him chapters back what he would do if she removed his halo, when he jokingly said, "Can you do it?" She seemed to understand through merely his look when she asked that question that he would be willing to take out his oppressors. Not willing, wanting to, desperately.
Oh my God, it's almost like he was tempered down in the way that Bryce was tempered down.
It's true.
And maybe both of their powers need to be released.
Yeah, so they can finally have an orgasm?
Yeah, so they can fuck. Jeez, I mean, talk about cock blocking. And how many hundreds of pages of cock blocking this book is?
Gooning. They're gooning.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling gooned.
They're edging. So it's time to pay the taxwoman, the tax witch. The tax witch.
Should I start calling my accountant that?
Isn't it Anthony?
Anthony the tax witch, yeah.
I don't know if he'll understand.
He might like it.
He might be just like sad and not tell you.
Why? He might love it.
Hunt looks at Sandriel, who is nearby, and then to Bryce, already exhausted, leaning against the gate. So he sees Sandriel kind of doing her thing, and then he thinks for a second, looks at Bryce, through the camera, just barely alive, and then to Hypaxia.
Hypaxia's power flowed silently and unnoticed into Hunt.
Rune growls at Sandriel.
Oh, me?
Who is smirking as she gets off of the phone call she was on. She merely says that she was taking care of a problem when Rune says, "What was that call about?" And they all know what the problem is.
It's not me.
She's paddling it to the Asteri that Bryce has the Fae power.
No. I say it because it's like my job. I it's my job.
You like your job a little too much.
Natil, it's my job.
A starborn Fae with that amount of power could serve as a threat to them all of the Asteri at least. That B word can open portals, and that's the whole reason Micah was trying to control her in the first place, if you'll remember. So,
I'm just an angel.
You are not a good one because the other angels aren't trying to tattle to the Asteri. You're a simp, and you are one of the bad people.
Yeah, but I'm beautiful.
Oh, yeah, you're beautiful. It makes it the evil even worse evil.
I know.
Unfortunately.
It's almost like you can't trust beautiful people either.
Rage courses through Rune at this, but Sandriel is unbothered and says that she's not going to be able to close the other gates anyway. They can't use her to help close the portals. She hasn't made the drop and she's barely survived closing one, so they must know about it.
Hunt's fingers curled. Hypaxia met his stare again and smiled slightly. An invitation and challenge. Her magic shimmered through him, over his forehead. And he rose to his feet, as Hypaxia's magic dissolved the halo from his brow.
Oh, shit! A flurry of action occurs. Heads are gonna roll, kind of literally.
Yeah!
Because Hunt realizes that Rune had kept talking with Sandriel in that moment to distract her as Hypaxia went against the law, knowing her own life is also on the line by doing this.
There was nothing but cold death in Hunt's eyes as the halo tattoo flaked away from his brow. The true face of the Umbra Mortis. Goosh, 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 goosh. She's gonna lightning my pussy, lightning my pussy. I like his lightning power.
Hunt's got his full lightning power.
Cool.
The likes of which have not been seen in 200 years on this planet.
What?
The building shakes with his fury. Sandriel is all, uh-oh.
But like, I'm beautiful. Did you notice that like I look like Shahar? Like if you thought about like maybe you could like can we I like your lightning.
Probably shouldn't have tortured him for 200 years.
Okay.
In this moment, Sandriel's she had sent her Triari away to do some other dirty business, and no one's here to protect her against the Umbra Mortis, not even Micah. Not after she threatened his girlfriend, roommate, partner mate. We're with Rune here in POV, and he again feels time slowing as Hunt charges towards Sandriel. And you know what that means when the time slows down. Lightning and dust from the crumbling walls around them block the view of what's going on, and they all take cover as Hunt charges. And then, before long, time returns. Before the air even clears, Rune knows what he'll see.
Her gamble had paid off. Blood splattered Hunt's face as his feathers fluttered on a phantom wind. And from his hand, gripped by the hair, dangled Sandriel's severed head. I guess I lost my head.
Bye. Bye.
And if, we had the animation capabilities, I imagine my head had floated off my body and was spinning over us as that happened. So I just want everyone to just feel it, live it, dream it inside of your brain.
Yeah. All of the angels in the room drop to their knees before Hunt. This is getting messy, y'all. So Hunt has defeated Sandriel. 2 archangels in one day, baby.
Out, dudes. Yes.
We need a Hypaxia and Hunt over here on Earth.
Please. Oh,
all
my
I
God.
gotta
The
say.
things I would do to a Hypaxia and a Hunt. Good Lord.
Well, I meant not just sexually,
Oh.
but otherwise.
Oh, yeah. For the power. Yeah.
For the,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Rune is marveling at this, that the 2 archangels dying one day, and they're like killed by his besties. Maybe. We don't know what Hunt is thinking about Rune right now, but we know Rune doesn't give a care about any of this Starborn stuff that Bryce had tried so much to hide from him. He wishes that she would have told him. He wanted a relationship with his sister, not a crown.
Oh my God, he's such a good male.
That's the reason he's my favorite.
I get you.
The Autumn King pales as Hunt slowly smiles in his direction, seeming to mark him.
But then Hunt looked to Fury, who was pulling debris from her dark hair, and growled,
Fuck the Asteri. Get your goddamn helicopter over here.
Fury!
Yeah!
Oh.
We switch to Hunt's POV as he's...
Sorry, sidebar. I would love a whole book about Fury. Do you think we'll ever... It's like, I need so much more. Or do you think that living in more of a mystery obviously is better for the character?
I mean, I think we're going to learn a lot more about Fury.
In the future?
Yeah. I think that there's going to be some reveals that... I told you my theory on.
Oh, yeah. I love your theory.
So I think we'll learn. She steps... So we're switched...
I got a bunch of hair in my mouth. I got a bunch of my wig hair in my mouth, and then it just kept floating around and just make a little Wendy noise.
Aww. We switch to Hunt's POV as he's experiencing his full power for the first time in centuries. It rolls through him, and his anger at what has been done to Bryce makes even Fury tremble.
Cool.
He steps into his old role as commander easily, and the room is more than willing to oblige. Going against the Asteri's order, they plan a siege on the brutalized city. Pretty much everyone's in, other than the usual suspects who don't want to participate.
Shock.
Even Amelie jumps in, to the shock and anger of Sabine.
Yeah, Sabine, you can't control all the wolves.
No. It seems like maybe Amelie is questioning some of her life choices.
Think about it, bitch.
I think we should all have that option. Not all of us. I think some people shouldn't because they're that bad. But
Yes.
I think Amelie is a redeemable character.
She is, and I think that she's just a little misguided. I think she needed more information. I think she honestly needed to see a lot of this, and also needed to like undo those braids a little bit. I feel like maybe part of her problem was her braids were just so
Oh,
tight.
it's very tight braids.
Yeah, she needed to let it out a little bit. Maybe she just had a headache.
Her empathy was in there in those braids somewhere.
Yeah, let it out.
Jessica and Hypaxia remain with Declan to monitor from the summit building and to keep an eye on the potential dissenters in the room because, of course, Autumn King and then, basically like Sabine, they're going to stay there. And so somebody's also got to keep an eye on them in case they're going to try some stuff. You know what I mean? So Hunt barks out commands like a boss. And the crew that's going to the crew that's going to Crescent City travels to the roof where they find that Fury has prepared a full decked out military copter, saying that she likes to be prepared at these summits in case something goes sideways, which obviously it did.
Yes.
As they are getting prepped to take off, even with everything going on, Hunt quietly asks Fury if she knew about the roof incident with Bryce and Juniper, as she had alluded to it in her goodbye call that happened in the previous chapter. Fury doesn't answer the question, instead saying that Bryce had become a ghost over the last 2 years and that Hunt had awoken her, just like Mary Lennox at Misselthwaite.
What's that? Who's Mary Lennox?
Oh.
Where's Misselthwaite?
You don't know Misselthwaite?
No.
I know some of you Secret Garden stands out there.
Oh, I didn't know the name of it. All I know is that he's cold in the tub. Put the kid cold in the tub.
Colin Craven?
Yeah. Put his little legs in the tub.
Mary Lennox.
That always really scared me.
Misselthwaite.
It scared me when I was little, though.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should reboot it, but it's like she never left the garden. You know what I mean?
Oh, so now she's creepy?
Yeah, dude. Make it a little Grey Gardens-esque, but like who knows what happened to her afterwards.
I think Colin is he might be a little queen, so maybe they're together.
I hope he was allowed to be a little queen.
Yeah, I hope so.
Still in that tub to this day.
Oh, no. Chapter 90, we're with Bryce briefly, who is leaning against the gate. Her body nearly shut down from closing the gates. The one gate. She doesn't.
How do you feel about being closed?
I didn't want the demons coming out of me.
Oh, okay. So you were fine with this as the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure.
I didn't consent.
I just realized I haven't checked in on you and your feelings.
I mean, thank you, but nobody asked me to open the gate in the first place.
You're so right. Sometimes we refuse to open the knees, but sometimes the knees are glued shut.
So sorry to everyone out there. If you're hearing flaps, it's my giant sequins.
Oh, you want to hear flaps? Oh, you want to hear flaps?
I've activated her.
Oh,
God. She's knocking the stuff down here. Jesus. Those are some big wings, girl.
Yeah, thank you. Full of star power. They're not.
They're
dead.
not.
I'm dead.
Yeah, so we're with Bryce in the beginning of chapter 90, and she is, she's trying to survive this last bit. She's hoping that either somebody is going to come to get her or, she's going to die in hopes that closing the one gate helps them defeat the demons in the end. Then we cut over to the copter, heading to save Bryce and the city. They have eyes on her and know that the gate is keeping the demons away from her for the moment. Hunt's relief, though, is short-lived as Declan comes in over the communication device in the helicopter that they have spotted 3 Asterian war vehicles heading to the city. And at first, that sounds okay, then they're here to help. But before Hunt can celebrate, Hypaxia joins in on the feed with worse news than they could have ever anticipated. The Asteri are moving in, and they are going to take care of the problem by leveling the city.
The blood in Hunt's veins went cold. The Asteri had sent someone to deal with the demons, and with Bryce. They were going to blast the city into dust.
Yikes.
It's like, I feel like, guys, there's like other ways we could deal with this problem.
No.
Like, I feel like you're gonna come in and kill everybody. Okay. I feel like, sadly, maybe this is a reason why I'm not a leader of a country. Like, I feel like sometimes you gotta do something more difficult and like save a lot of people, right?
Well, I think it more alludes to the fact that some of the leadership, maybe most of the leadership in any government sees their populations as insects that they can just sort of take and move around as they please.
Stamp out the ants.
So that's what we're seeing here, and maybe other places that I can, relate to a little bit more than in Midgard. But yeah, so I think that the Asteri is essentially going like, just get rid of them. It doesn't matter, whatever. They're just my little chess pieces to move around. And so they have a weapon known as a brimstone missile, and it combines the Asterian power with nature and magic and all sorts of nasty stuff, dark-sided stuff.
We'll say it sounds pretty badass. And I know that we're supposed to be anti the angels, but this is like a really cool weapon.
I mean, it's like at the level of like an atom bomb, though. You know what I mean? Like, it probably shouldn't exist.
Yeah, something about human nature, something about science. Yeah, there's something in there of what we're supposed to do.
Take away from it, yeah.
But like, or you could kill a lot of people in a cinch.
Yeah. So it's especially fucked up because there's magic in them to slow the healing of veneer, so likely more casualties. Fury makes a futile attempt at contacting the Asterian guard, demanding that they stand down, but they all know that they can't stop them. That the Asteri are well aware what the weapons will do. Hypaxia screams for all the house leadership to pull their people out of the city, but they can't reach Bryce in that way. With no way to stop what's about to happen, they hover far enough away from the city but close enough to see. They find the tanks appearing on the horizon.
The brimstone missiles shot from the launchers and arced over the walls, blazing with golden light. As the first of them hit, he prayed that Bryce had left the gate to find shelter. You know she didn't. You know she did it.
Well, she does. She does.
I know, but I feel like at this point, I would be like, I don't trust this bitch. I don't know where she's gonna go. I don't know what she's gonna do. What other secrets you got in there?
That's true.
Breasty secrets.
But I do feel like Bryce would, if she could keep herself alive, if she thought she could help people, she would.
Yes, you're right. You're right. And she does all of it to help people. And I feel like sometimes, even though I want to give a little bit of a roll of the eye when she's not like the other girls, every once in a while where it's like, but you're right, she wouldn't. She would definitely do anything to help people.
Yeah. We cut over to Bryce in the immediate aftermath of the bombing. She's experiencing the aftershock of something so sudden and so extreme and is trying to pull her senses together. You know that this is such a traumatic and awful thing to have happen and really hard to explain. This is a weird side tangent, but it made me think of, as a little girl, my American Doll Molly books.
Because you had red hair, so you had the lighter haired one?
No, I didn't have red hair.
Oh, when you were younger?
I don't
have lighter hair?
My hair's brunette.
Whoa, I had no idea.
Really?
I didn't know your actual color was brunette.
Yeah.
I guess I thought you were more reddish.
No, none at all.
So you just got Molly just because you got Molly.
But Molly's got brown hair.
Oh, that one? See, I had the Samantha. I thought Samantha was the only one with the dark hair.
No, Molly's got brown hair.
I can go fuck myself.
She specifically, Molly always hates her brown hair and she thinks it's boring.
Oh, it's hard for.
But it takes place, her storyline takes place during World War II. My grandma was really, like, that was my most special toys I had, was all the American Girl stuff. And in one of those books, they take in a British girl whose city was destroyed by bombs. And she, basically they explain her trauma about being hit with bombs in that book. And I have such a strong memory of it as a little kid, because I think it's really good to try to appropriately aged kind of describe the devastation of war.
I forgot. I wonder if the dolls still come with the traumatizing books because
Yeah.
they all come with the story because I forget what happened with Samantha. I don't fucking remember because I didn't really care that much. But I remember I had all the books that went along with it. And I thought at this point that it was just like the kid dresses like the doll. I thought it was more of that.
No,
I didn't
no.
realize it
Oh,
was still all the
girl.
books.
No, there's an entire American Girl doll like subculture because I was obsessed with my Molly in my books. I loved her. And I still love American Dolls. I think they're great. And yeah, no, they were basically explaining different, like really difficult parts of history, American history.
Yes.
And you got cool outfits. But yeah, so I remember that as a little kid and how, that's such an insane thing to try to explain to a child. But like we have to because people are evil.
Yes.
And they do horrible things.
And also, history is going to it is repeating itself. So, there are just times when you just have to be aware of what happened in our history. And I do need to put this down because I'm trying to read through the history of Samantha, trying to figure out this story. Something about working class, something about turn of the century.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure it's sad she's an orphan, all right?
I'm sure. I never read Samantha. So Bryce.
Well, yeah, if you were a Molly, I mean, you can't come over to the world of Samantha. Like, what are you going to fucking cop my style?
Well, but also, man, that shit was pricey. You can't really just get multiple
certainly.
dolls.
Yeah, no, my parents couldn't afford more than one. They had to save up for the one.
Right?
And the clothes were so expensive. Sorry.
Bryce had recognized the sight and sound of the bombs going off due to the war coverage that she had watched so much of and had managed to make it to a nearby building in time for the hit, though the building still crumbled around her. She's pinned but alive. The nearby gate, filled with light, seems to have offered some level of protection to her and the things closest to it. But the bomb struck just a neighborhood over and it had incinerated many buildings around her. She sees her small wounds healing rapidly, maybe from the horn, but she can't get her leg unpinned from the concrete. Bryce realized what the rest of them already knew. The Asteri are going to kill everyone to end the threat of the demons. She rips her fingernails on the concrete trying to free herself, but cannot escape. Yeah, that's not
I
fun.
could read about a head being severed off, but the thought of fingernails coming up as you're...
Oh, no, it's the worst. Absolute worst. Absolute
God,
worst.
I'd rather my head be cut off.
Honestly. We cut to the copter as they all watch in horror, realizing the Asterian guard is reloading their machines. Rune whispers in disbelief that they're not done yet, that they're going to refire. Declan has eyes on Bryce, confirming to the craft that she's still moving, but appears to be pinned. They watch the launchers aim skyward again.
As if they knew Bryce still lived. They'd keep bombarding the city until she was dead, killing anything in their path, perhaps hoping that if they took out the gates, too, the voids would vanish.
In that moment, Hunt becomes calm, realizing what he can do. This last bit that he can offer Bryce in this moment. It brings him peace. He tells Fury to raise the helicopter as high as she can get it. He can't fly on his own still because his wings are growing back, but that's not what he was planning on doing anyway. Fury understands. She takes them over the walls of Lunathian and goes as high away from the bombs as she can as Hunt unstraps himself from the gunner seat where he was placed. Rune looks at Hunt with love and gratitude at what he's about to sacrifice. Hunt leaps from the side of the copter with no time to spare, his angel sight spotting Bryce and his little wings helping him angle directly towards her. The bombs launch. He can gauge that they are looking for her, and they're going to hit down just a few blocks from where she is. He flings himself downward in a race against the impact.
The brimstone hit. The entire city bouncing beneath its unholy impact. Block after block ruptured in a tidal wave of death. Wings splaying, lightning erupting, Hunt threw himself over Bryce as the world shattered.
Uh-oh.
Can the lightning power save them? We'll never know, except we will Next week. We'll find out next week. We will find out next week. What a cliffhanger. Ooh, what a bitchy little cliffhanger you left us on there, Natalie.
Zowie.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you, drumming up my thirst over here. That sounds aggressive and mean, but I meant it in a way. Thirst for the story. I'm thirsting for the story, Natalie.
Well, I guess you're gonna be parched until next week. Even though you've read this book many times. Fly away, little parrot.